Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace be unto you. You're tuned in to the Sajdah channel, and I am your host, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad. And we're going to talk this morning about what it means to be a luxury. So be a friend, tell a friend, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. In the meanwhile, we'll entertain you with a few commercials, a beautiful prayer. We'll see you in a few minutes.
O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided thee right, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judgest, and none can judge against Thee. And he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee. And I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
I have told you the first part of my life, I was a farmer in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Nobody there was looking at me flying and you thought that I would ever be a scientist teaching the world.
Yes, sir.
See, it is time that brings all that.
The Elijah Muhammad House presents Black Waltz in White, an electrifying and elegant movement introduced to the Nation of Islam in the 1930s by Master W. Fard Muhammad. Join us for the second event in our Arts, Culture, and Civilization series. Learn more about the level of culture and refinement taught and demonstrated by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We'll be there Thursday, June 26th at 6 p.m. in Elijah's Garden of Peace at 4847 South Woodlawn Avenue. All ages are welcome to attend this special event of dance, education, and our sacred space. Visit ElijahMuhammadHouse.com to secure your seats. Assalamu alaikum, family. Welcome to the Sajdah channel. Before we do anything this morning, I just feel like us meditating together. So let's take 60 seconds. We're going to close our eyes together and just breathe and lean into our authentic self. Let's go. Just focus on your breath. Don't think about anything else. Don't try to do anything. Just feel the breath of life flowing through you. All right, let's slowly take a deep breath. Let it out through our mouth. Slowly open your eyes and let's come back to the broadcast here. Hope everybody is starting off their Saturday well. I'm starting off with some rose tea in my Struggle Beard Bakery. Struggle Beard Bakery is in Hyde Park. Good place to go and have a coffee meeting or meet up. So check it out. Rose tea, let me tell y'all a little bit about rose tea. It's caffeine free. I do a lot of addressing specific personal needs with teas. I have a whole, if you've ever been in my kitchen, you'll see I have a whole row of herbs and spices and things like that I mix and create my teas. I learn a lot about tea combinations from Dr. Sunyata Amin. So go and check her out on Instagram and on YouTube. She's got a new show she's doing. She's an example of a person that's a true brand. And so I want to talk this morning about what it means to be luxury. So anyway, using my rose tea this morning, I'm just hydrating. It's good for weight loss. It's good. It's got lots of antioxidants. It's good for anti-bloating. Sometimes you may feel yourself getting a little puffy, and rose tea is good for that. I also do black tea, black seed oil every morning as well, and a number of different things. But I'm big on using natural herbs and creating teas to address certain energies. And because what I learned is that certain energies get in your body and then your body has a certain effect to it, right? That's why today I want to talk about what it means to be a luxury. Okay. Many of us, because of the world we live in, we're so luxury minded that, or consumer minded, that we only think of luxury when we think of brands, like Louis Vuitton or Hermes or something like that, Gucci, Dior, Prada. But do you know that you as an individual with your unique gifts, skills, and who you are can be a luxury and should be a luxury? I'll tell you what made me think about this. Years ago, a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a long time, I just moved back to Chicago and I hadn't seen him. And he's like, I got to stop by. Oh my God, you're back. You're back. And so he came to my house. And so he's like looking at my art and he's like, everything about you is a daggone luxury. And I started laughing and I thought about that. And we actually ended up sitting on the deck, just having a conversation about being a luxury person. And he used the words, he said, how did you curate yourself? And I said, that's powerful. And so I ended up writing a whole essay on it, which is actually going to be in my new book on being a luxury. A lot of these things I like to hint on here at the podcast, but we're living in a world now where the world makes us think that the more likes, the more followers you have, the more value you are. And that may not necessarily be the case. Sometimes it's the case, but it may not necessarily be the case, because oftentimes when people just, everything that's luxury, everybody can't have access to. And I'm going to talk to you about how to become luxury today. I got to get this out because it's just burning in my brain. So bear with me. In this consumer world that we live in, we think of everything in terms of consumption and spending. And so when I say, yeah, it's about being a luxury, we say, okay, let me be uppity, right? Let me be let me be exclusive. And some of that can be true. When my friend talked to me about being a luxury and asked me about curating myself, it made me think, really got me to thinking. And I remember years ago, I think it was in 2016, I was building a house. And there was somebody who called me who was trying to sell me their interior design services. And I said, I design interiors. And she's like, yeah, everybody says that. I said, no, seriously, I really do. I said, because until you get to know me, you can't design an interior for me. And she was like, what do you mean? And I said, I am a global, international Muslim woman. And so my artwork has to reflect that. The scents in my home, the scent that I sell, my Sajdah oud oils, it's all about me being a global and international person. And my intellect is folded in there. My spirituality is folded in there. All of those things. I said, so you got to get all of that. And somebody asked me before, well, what's your favorite color? I don't necessarily have a favorite color. It's all about how it flows together spiritually. Some people got a color and that's just their signature color. And I get that. But I'm the kind of person, I have pinks, I have blues, I have reds, I have greens, I have purples. It's all about the spirit and the energy. That's my brand. And so the first thing to becoming a luxury that we have to make sure we begin to practice, and y'all can put this in the chat, is you have to teach people how to treat you. You can't mistreat yourself and then expect other people to hold you at a certain standard. How do you treat yourself? What foods do you put in your body? Do you take time to cook for yourself? I cook gourmet meals for myself, and it don't matter if I'm by myself. I do the same thing if I'm cooking for a group or if I'm cooking for myself. How much preparation do you put into what you do for yourself? Do you buy clothes for yourself and just crumble them on the floor and throw them on the floor and throw them on the bed? How do you treat yourself? You go to a hotel, do you just dress out of the suitcase? For me, I like to hang my stuff up. It's got to be nice and crispy. How do you present yourself to yourself? See, you can't expect from other people what you don't do for yourself. So you have to first teach people how to treat you. Then you have to figure out, what is your style? What is your vibe? And what do I mean by that? How do you present yourself? A lot of people present themselves in a way and they're always apologizing for how they came off. I'm sorry, I was just so sad. Or I'm sorry, I was just so happy. Or I'm sorry, I was just so passionate. How do you read the room? Can you read a room? Do you have the ability to read a room whether it's digitally or physically. And then in reading that room, how do you flow? See, I learned from my father, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that you bring your own environment into a space. You bring your own energy there. You bring who you are, your authenticity. See, your authenticity, your story is your currency, especially in today's world. And I've been saying that over 10 years, especially in today's world. What is it about you? What do you like? Where did you come from? Who are you? What's your vibe? Seriously, what would you be doing right now if it was up to you? Me, I'd be traveling the world, meditating, looking at art, buying artwork, collecting art, going to museums, listening to beautiful music, meditating in amazing spaces and meeting amazing people. What would you be doing right now if you didn't have nothing else to do? And then how do you treat others? How do you treat other people? Are you judgmental, harsh, and mean because you're so fragile that you're afraid that if this person who's struggling with something comes close to you, that they're going to rub off? Is that who you are? Is your energy and your power not strong enough that by them being around you, that they can gain and pull strength from you, as opposed to you being pulled down or pulled over to their vibrational level of pain? See, a brand, a luxury branded person is somebody that vibrates at a certain level. And when other people come around them, they're trying to make sure that people are vibrating at their highest and best as well. That's a luxury branded person. How often do you support other people? Are you selfish, living a life of subtraction, where people come around you and they can tell that you're a taker? And when people can tell that you're a taker, they don't really give to you. They just kind of have a shell around them. But can people tell that you're a taker? How do you move? How do you navigate through the world? When's the last time you smiled at somebody? When's the last time you had a friendly conversation with someone? When's the last time you gave and checked up on somebody? What is your luxury brand components? Here's the other part of a luxury brand. Sometimes you have to learn to be exclusive. Everybody doesn't get access to you. You're not out here showing out, stunting, trying to be the life of the party, and everything ain't always about you. See, every time the bell rings, it's not your fight. So if somebody's talking to you and they're talking to you about a situation, instead of you responding to the situation, you respond with yourself, some explanation about yourself. Now, that's okay in certain cases, because you could say, well, you know what? When I went through XYZ, this is how I handled it, and this may be a beneficial experience for this person. But if you make everything about you, then you can't be a luxury to anybody, because nobody can come to you and get any kind of unique and authentic advice, because every trauma that somebody else is going through is triggering you, and you like, oh, hell no. So you're just not a luxury brand. Don't mean you're not valuable, but you're not luxury. No one's going to pay that unique value for an experience with you. Now, being a luxury has its challenges, because sometimes people don't want to pay the vibrational currency to be with you or around you. It's easier sometimes for people who don't want to step up, especially in relationships, to be with or around someone that doesn't require much. And oftentimes you don't have to say it. This is just what I require. I told somebody years ago, they invited me to a concert. Y'all might think this sounds bougie, but I love music. So they invited me to a concert and they were nosebleed seats. I said, don't invite me to no show if you got nosebleed seats. Or if you do, tell me. Because if it's an artist I love enough, there's really not anybody anymore. I would go to nosebleed seats for Prince. But outside of that, don't invite me nowhere with no nosebleed seats. Why? Because I'm a whole luxury. I'm a whole luxury to be around and to be with. If we're going to go and do it right. That's not arrogant. That's like, let's live it. Let's live life the way it's supposed to be lived. Let's get them VIP seats. We should be sitting in the VIP of the VIP. Not because we want somebody else to see us, but because that's how we value ourselves. Now, if we decide we're going to dress it down and go sit in the nosebleed, let's do it with a purpose. Let's go, you know what? Let's just go have fun. But don't call me and make me feel and try to and dress it up like you got these seats and it's all that and you thought of me and you can't wait and da-da-da-da-da. And I get there and they enroll triple F. Tell me that up front. Unless, like I said, Prince comes back from the dead and you heard about it at the last minute and I didn't get a memo through New Power Generation, then I'll go with you to the nosebleed seats. I'll sit in the nosebleed seats to see Minister Farrakhan. I've done it before. I've actually purchased VIP seats. I remember one time I came in from, where was I? Somewhere, I think I was in Italy. And I came back, I was like, oh, the minister's speaking. And I would just, as soon as I knew, boom, buying tickets, I'm flying back. And I'd put it on the calendar, back in America or back in Chicago or whatever. And I bought the tickets and I bought the seats. And I was sitting down front and somebody hated on me. And they was like, oh, sister, can you move? Because something they said. And I said, okay. And then they put me way in the back. But I always remember when the minister was up in the balcony watching the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I said, you know what? If I can be in his energy space, I'll take nosebleed. I'll take nosebleed. My point is this. Teach people how to treat you. You can't expect people to be mind readers. You can't expect people to just assume, because they may not. Here's the other thing. Sometimes people may not know the level of luxury that you require. And unless you teach them how to treat you, they're just not going to know. Right? Little things. I'm one of those persons. I don't like plastic. I don't like plastic cups. I don't like plastic plates. I don't like plastic spoons and forks. Now I will if I have to. Like we outside somewhere, but make it cute plastic. Make it a nice little luxury plastic. Give it a gold rim or some kind of design on it or something. But if you are saying that you want to serve me on that luxury level, then you won't find no plastic in my house. Even my storage containers, I have a few plastic ones, but usually if I get them, I'll go somewhere I get them because I'm transporting stuff. I throw them away. But I even use like their glass, like the Pyrex with the secure lid. I use those a lot. But I just don't like plastic. But some people are okay with it, and that's all right. But that's my brand because that's my preference. So are you a luxury, or are you so accessible and so common? Are you doing too many things that you don't want to do or that lower your value just because you want to get along Are you just going along and getting along in too many spaces? Then you're ruining your brand. You're ruining your value. Are you mistreating too many people? Are you just stepping out to be seen? See, a luxury or a high value person is not just trying to be common and seen. If you're a club goer, you don't go to the club every time it open up, you up in there. Well, you're not rare. You're not a luxury. Every time there's an event, you got to have your face in the place. You're not a luxury. Be a luxury. Why? Why is that important? And some people say, why should I care? In this world that we live in, being a luxury is somewhat synonymous with treatment. So when you wonder why people treat you a certain way or see you a certain way, because you just so busy, got to have your face in this place every minute, all trying to be seen in the camera, in the club, in the place, wherever it is, then you start to reduce your value. You start to reduce your value. Make yourself unique. Make yourself rare. Make yourself a joy to be around. Like a beautiful resort. You know, when you go to a resort, it's just beautiful. It's relaxing. It's ease. Sometimes it's grandeur, sometimes it's not, but it's a feeling that it evokes. When I owned a spa, I used to tell my team, people are buying an experience. And one of the things that I'm doing with the new spa that I'm planning is making sure that we're creating experiences. Experiences. People buy experiences. How does your store, how does your food, how does an interaction with you and your brand make a person feel? How does it make them feel? See, if your people that you rolling with are so insecure and so competitive that being in your presence makes them feel inadequate, you need to get a new circle. Because when you have those kind of people around you, they fall out for any little reason. They're going to try to find a way to chip away at your brand and who you are. Be around people that value being around you. Be around people who feel good being around you. Not because you're buying them, not because you're making them be a certain way, but because of who you are, your vibration, the environment you bring to the relationship, the environment that they experience when they enter your home, the environment that they experience when they enter your business. You all heard me say that during the Black Opera in White, I was working and praying to create an environment that was magical. And we did that. Magic happened that day. People felt it in their vibration and in their soul. You saw the glow from our faces. You see the glow in our smile. Just go to Instagram and look at the pictures. You can see it. It was mesmerizingly beautiful. And I asked Allah, I said, let me channel the love of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and bring it alive in this space, in this room. Let it just reverberate off of the walls so that people say, ooh, this is a luxury. And everybody, no matter what walk of life, no matter who they are, where they're from, they feel it. They felt it. I'm like that with filming. I'm like that with interviews. It has to have a certain feel and a certain vibration. Some of us don't feel like we're very attractive. Let's talk about that. We may feel like I'm a little older. I'm a little overweight. I'm a little dark. I'm a little light. My face broke out, whatever. First of all, things happen. My eczema kicked in this week. I was dealing with something and my eczema was popping up. It happens. Don't let that hinder you from being a luxury. If you feel like I'm not that attractive, then spend more time being attractive. If you say I'm not that good looking, then spend more time looking good. If you feel like, man, I'm just too old, well, what in the world are you comparing yourself to? What are you comparing yourself to? It is such a blessing to gain another year on this planet when people are dropping like flies and you sitting up here hating on being your age. You sitting up here justifying and hating and always talking about, well, I'm an old gal, I'm an old boy, I'm an OG. Do you know what a blessing it is to still be able to be around here vibrating, talking about being a brand and being a luxury? Listen, anybody who got a problem with your age, tell them to just pray that they get there. If you're 70 years old and somebody who's 20 is hating on you because you're 70, just tell them, you better hope you get here. And what you do is spend more time taking care of yourself. So you continue to defy the odds. Whatever age you are as a Black person here in America is a luxury. Why? Because they popping us off left and right, from the diet, from drive-bys, from accidents, from people going crazy, having nervous breakdowns and strokes. If you still here and you able to get on here and figure some things out, it's never too late to go deep into your authenticity. Don't you ever let nobody hate on you because of your age. And I'm going to tell you what you should do. It's something I learned from my mother. Why don't you stop counting? If you ask my mother right now, I don't think she could tell you how old me or my brother are. Not because she ain't senile or nothing like that. She just don't count. Stop counting. How old are you? I don't know. I remember Brother Yusuf Muhammad when he was making his transition, and I said, Brother Yusuf, may Allah be pleased with him. I said, how old are you? He said, I don't know. I said, do you think you're 100? Do you think you're 90? He said something like that. But he always had a youthful spirit, because who's counting? I want you to think about it like this. We have 365 days in a year, right? And so once you get past that 365 day mark, there's another year, right? What if you lived on a planet, and there are planets in this universe that have people that live on them? What if you lived on a planet and the years were 465 days long? Your chronological number would be less, right? What if you lived on a planet and the year was 200 days? Then your chronological number would be more, right? So it's all relative. Get up off of this basic dimension, take care of yourself, and let people guess how old you are. They need to just hope they get where you at. You're the one with the advantage. Stop letting your age impact how you see your brand. The older you are, the even more luxury you really are. Y'all saw Diana Ross come out at the Met Gala. 80 years old, she shut it down. Google it if you didn't see it. Diana Ross, 2025 Met Gala. Shut it down. She was a whole luxury brand. All of her life experiences, everything she'd been through, everything you want to say about her, she done put that together and made a gumbo that's good. Now, I don't know her personally, but I'm assuming that she ain't sitting up here worrying and waddling about what you and I think, because she showed up at that thing and shut it down. And then somebody asked her, did you know you was going to shut it down like this? And she said, no, I didn't. She just wanted to come. She got dressed in her grandeur, in her luxury. So I'm saying all this to say, whatever you've been through, if you've been on drugs, if you've been in the streets, if you've been homeless, if you've had cancer, if you're sick, if you've done some things that you're not so proud of, that's part of your luxury brand, because you can pivot and elevate from that. Don't walk around like you ain't been through nothing and you don't know nothing about that and you ain't got this and you ain't got that. Listen, everything you've been through, everything you've survived through, everything that has caused you to elevate and change and become the person that you are is part of your luxury brand. Don't let nobody look down on you. Because maybe you used to be a prostitute. Maybe you used to be a hustler, a pimp. Maybe you've been to jail. Don't do that. Because I'm going to tell you another secret. Those of us running around here trying to check all the boxes and get the most education as possible. Let me get about 20 PhDs. And them ain't the people that's got the wealth and the value in the world. You notice that? Most of the time, the most educated people generally are the middle class people. But the wealthiest, the most influential, the most powerful are rarely those people that they brainwashed you into thinking that you need to be comparing yourself to. Think about it. So don't let nobody tell you that because of who you are and what you've been through, that you ain't a whole brand, you ain't a whole luxury brand, because you are. And the fact that you're still sitting here today being able to make the statement, I used to do such and such and so, let me tell you something. God could turn that thing around overnight. So anybody that's sitting up, acting bougie, looking at you like you don't deserve it and you old or you sick or you something is wrong with you, they don't need to be in your universe anyway. So stop worrying about them. Stop performing for them. Stop trying to impress them. And accept your own and be yourself. Be you. Be who you are. Your experiences. I'm a whole bowl of gumbo over here. All kind of life experiences. I've been blessed to have millions of business experiences. And the more experiences you have, the more you have to give. The more you can help somebody. The higher you can vibrate, because you know why? Because you know what low vibration is. See, some people don't even know what low vibration is. Some people walk around with a low tone, low vibration, popping off at everybody, thinking they're better, talking about people, trying to buy stuff to make themselves look better, can't never put themselves in a position of leadership because they always scared to be out front because they worried about somebody saying something about them. They think being it's this thing that some people have where they always want somebody to be of service to them. Well, I'm gonna have them do this, or they see somebody in terms of what they can do. Never ever will they be high vibrational. You know why? Because they live in a low tone space. And they are not the person that's going to manifest at the level that you and I are. Why? Because we done been there. We know what a low tone is. We done made mistakes. See, you can't teach not to make a mistake unless you done made the mistake. You can't teach how not to break a restrictive law if you ain't broke it. The question is, how am I living my life now? Who am I now? And how dare you walk up on me based upon what you think as a result of a mistake you know I made 25, 30 years ago? Get your ass out of here, because you don't even know me. I ain't even the same person I was yesterday. That's how fast my luxury brand is evolving and rolling. And that's what I'm saying to you. Step into your authentic space. Don't let nobody make you feel small. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care how you look. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how skinny you are. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how much you've been through. That is the beauty of the redemptive quality of Almighty God, Allah. And you know what? One of the things we forget, especially a lot of times as Muslims, we forget. We really in the resurrection business. Let me lean forward and tell y'all that. We in the resurrection business. So your presence, your words, your representation, how you roll, how you flow, should be geared towards helping somebody else to resurrect. It's not your job to be the hypocrite police. It's not your job to be judgmental. It's not your job to be talking about how crazy somebody is. That ain't your job. Your job is to be the light, to be the luxury, to shine a light on darkness, to shine a light on Satan's world, to be so bright and so illuminating and so magnificent that Satan would see you coming and he say, oh shit. Excuse me for cursing. I'm just saying. Let me know in the chat if you understand where I'm coming from. I seen Sister Betty say hallelujah. She said, this is great teaching, sis. All praises due to Allah. Let me see y'all here. I see. Why won't it scroll up? Okay, here we go. Couldn't get it to scroll up. There we go. Okay, I see. Okay, I saw Sister Betty. She said, happy Saturday, everyone. I see Brother Lamont in the house. Thank you, Brother Lamont. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Wa alaikum salam, Sister Alita. I see y'all speaking to each other. Brother Reginald says wa alaikum salam as well. That's right, Sister Betty. Let me know what y'all think. Because we walk around with this low self-esteem. And here's another thing we do. We use this deceptive intelligence where we really think we bougie. We'll go out and buy a car and think that we all that. We'll go out and buy some clothes and think that we all that. But really deep down inside, I'm sorry, I got to curse again. We know we ain't shit. We know we ain't shit. Deep down inside, I know I ain't shit. I know I don't treat people right. I know I be using people. I know I be dogging people. I know I be taking from people. I know I ain't really a good friend. I know that. I know I'm not really a good sister. I know I ain't really a good brother. I know I ain't shit. But I'm going to dress myself up and I'm going to trick the shallow-minded person. Don't you fall for that. This is why people love bomb. They become narcissists. They emotionally blackmail. All these things. Sister Angela Muhammad said, amen, right on time. We are not the hypocrite police. No, we're not the hypocrite police, man. See, because, listen, in this journey, okay, of life, this journey of returning to Allah, there are all kind of things that are going to fall in our pathway Those things fall in our pathway, and sometimes we trip over them and they become sin. We trip over those things. We tripped over that fine brother. We tripped over that fine sister. And then next thing you know, we tripped over that situation and we stole something. We tripped over that situation and we lied. We tripped over that situation, whatever. The key is not to be chronic with it. You may have tripped over it, but don't be chronic. Don't keep doing it over and over and over again. You tripped and you learned. See, the beautiful thing about tripping is when you trip over something, you're able to say, now, what was I in need of that made me fall for that? Or how did I present myself that drew that to me? Or what can I do better as a person to make sure I don't repeat that again? And guess what? The universe is going to bring it back to you again. And you might trip again. Hopefully you don't. But even sometimes long when you pass that, long if you pass that, somebody maybe heard that you tripped over that years ago. And they're going to come around and think you're going to trip over it again. I'm like, man, you got to get up earlier in the morning. So we got to heal. We got to stop being so judgmental and be supportive. Sisters call me, you going through something, I'm going to help you adjust your crown. Don't be the one trying to tear somebody down by talking about what you know they went through or trying to tempt them with what you think they might trip over just so that you can make yourself seem better than them. It's all like filthy rags in the sight of God. All of it is. The idea is we are on our journey back to Allah, and you want to be more and more and more in alignment. And if you can really be in alignment with the time that you and I have on earth, think about the heaven that we're going to live in and create. You don't want to wait till you die to be in alignment. Get in alignment now. So let's stop tripping over the stuff we tripped over 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Let's stop being judgmental of somebody who's gone through a certain journey, because guess what? That's their story. And how many more people can they help? Because they fell off the wagon before. But guess what? They may have fallen off the wagon and broke their arm and their leg. But they can teach people how not to fall off the wagon, how not to get on the wagon, and how to heal if, in fact, you fall off the wagon. So be a luxury. What is a luxury? A luxury is somebody that encourages and turns somebody towards resurrection and the face of Almighty God Allah. That's a luxury. Not through your mouth, not through bashing them, not through dogging them, not through making them feel less than or smaller, but even through your example. One last thing I'm going to say in these last 10 minutes, if you have a dark moment, if you have a moment where you get tired and you just break down, don't be hard on yourself. This is hard. This is a hard life. It's tough. And so there are going to be times where you may fall, where you may just break down and say, I don't get it. What am I doing? That may happen. And that's okay. If you're blessed, you have people around you who will prop you back up and say, you got this. Let me help you return to your vibrational space. I got you. If you're blessed, sometimes you may not. And you got to go within and not be so hard on yourself. Not be so mean to yourself. Teach people how to treat you. Stop worrying about. Let me tell you something. If I sat on here and talked about the number of people that can't stand me, that don't like me, we'd be here all day. And you and I would be here all day because we'd be rotating. And then some of those people, they can't stand you today, but they love you tomorrow. Because everybody's not on this same journey that we're on, even though they may look like they are. They may look the part. But how are you struggling? And how are you overcoming the struggle of the Satan within yourself? You see? It's all about higher levels of love, higher levels of vibration. I was thinking the other day about brother student minister Rasul Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with him, and how intense Rasul always was. Everything was intense. He loved hard. He hated hard. Everything about Rasul was intense. And when we would talk on the phone, we would have these intense conversations about love. And sometimes they would get so intense that we would get into it. Because maybe he didn't agree with my definition on something and I didn't agree on his definition on something. But the intense love was so strong that we might even hang up on each other. And then maybe the next month, he generally would always be the one who would reach out first. I'd still be mad. And then just return back to that relationship. And I was thinking about that. I actually was cleaning out some messages and stuff. And I was thinking about, I ran across one where I had not spoken to him in about 4 or 5 years. And he DM'd me on Facebook and he was cursing me out. How dare you not call, da, 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 da. And then we got to the point where we would regularly speak. And I knew that something was off when I hadn't heard from him since last summer. I think it was. And I knew, I said, something's not right. And I sent a few text messages to him and Bree, and I was like, sending y'all love, what's going on? And, we later learned that he was declining. But my point is, one thing about Rasul is that he was always going to be intense when it came to his love. And he would just keep it going. I would be so irritated with him, so mad. He'd call me out the blue. And I haven't seen you, haven't talked to you, and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, I just talked to you and we just had a bad conversation. So in my mind, this is what he taught me. And I've learned this. It's interesting because I've learned this from a couple of men. My business partner, Dr. Dormu, is like this. If we have an intense argument and a falling out, in my mind, I'm thinking, that's it. We ain't going to talk to each other no more. That's it. It's over with. But both of those brothers would come back later and be like, hey, you know what's going on? You still mad over that? And some people call that gaslighting. But I'm saying that to say in the context of being a brand, and that is have your love and your attraction be a constant. And as I'm speaking of those two brothers, I'm talking about the constant in their love. So even if there's an issue, we talk through the issue. And then once we talk through it, that's it. It's over with. And then we just keep going. That's what I'm talking about. Not being fair weather. That's being a luxury. Somebody should know that if they were your friend 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that they could still call you today and talk to you. And you all catch up like you never lost pace. It's being a luxury, being your authentic self, being who you are, using all your experiences, everything about you to create who and what you are. I hope this helps us today, helps us to put some things into perspective, stops us from looking down on ourselves, because sometimes we mirror what the way other people are looking at us. So other people may be looking down on us because we're heavier, we're older, we're darker, we're lighter, we're whatever. And then we start looking at ourselves like that. That's what I want us to stop. Don't let how they're seeing you become a mirror for how you see yourself. Stop that. You are a survivor. You are beautiful just the way you are. So go ahead and spend more time being beautiful. That's men too. You know, men can be beautiful. Come on, y'all. Anyway, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., credit literacy. Use this QR code. You got to join this. If you were on Money Psychology last week and you bought the package of 4, make sure we'll send you out the link tomorrow. But if you weren't on last week and you just say, I just want to come to one, this QR code, use it. It's $25. This one right here. Come to Credit Literacy. I'm going to have a special guest on. We're going to be talking about, here's the biggest thing with all of this stuff is how you see it. Stop letting your credit create trauma. Stop letting the denials that you receive create trauma. We're going to talk through this thing. We're going to give you an opportunity to talk about how to raise your credit, how to utilize your credit, how to see credit as we move into our new world. Because we ain't taking these old business models with us. Not in our new territory, our new separate territory, our new world. We ain't taking these old business models with us. And that's what I've been teaching now for years is old business models no longer work. We're not taking those behaviors that we learn as a conquered people into the separate territory. Otherwise, if we do, it's just going to be chaos. So join that. Look, we got Black Waltz in White. The tickets are now available on the Elijah Muhammad House website. You can go to sajdahhouse.com. If you can't remember that, go to ElijahMuhammadHouse.com. They both point to the same website. Go out there, get your tickets to Black Waltz in White. You don't want to miss it. This is another magical event that we are going to be having at the Elijah Muhammad House Museum. But look, invest in yourself. We all about self-improvement around here. And this is a good group of people to be around and to be connected to, this circle of people that we're building if you want to improve and move yourself to another level. You want to kick it with us. You want to go out to dinner with us. We're going to be having some dinners. We're planning some mastermind stuff. We got a series coming out. Listen, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss out on this circle that we're building. All right. So I'll see y'all tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time. It's only $25. It ain't going to hurt you. Let me tell you something. It'll be the best 2 hours that you ever spent on a Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. Trust me on that. Because at the end of the day, freedom ain't free. And it takes money to move around. And you can sit here and act all spiritual like I don't care about money. I don't worry about money. Think about that the next time your bills come in the mail. People go to church and some of these churches and even some mosques, they tell you, don't worry about money. Don't care about money. But then they turn around and pass the collection plate. Come on now, make it make sense. We don't worship money. Money is not our God. But we understand that money is a tool that we use as gods to help us navigate through the world. We cannot liberate our people without money in this world. Yes, Allah is going to help us, but Allah works through people. So we got to get this money psychology and these vibrations together because money can no longer continue to be an issue. We want to be able to go out and teach and train and have facilities and space to be able to help our people. And it should not be, we can't do it because we ain't got no money. Money needs to become a non-factor. And we're going to do that first in the mind, and the physical is going to follow. Trust me. I believe that with my heart of hearts. I know that Master Fard Muhammad did not come over here for us to continue to be raggedy, naked, and out of doors. That I know. I listen, I know like I know that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is alive. He is real. When the minister makes that transition, he's going to the wheel. I believe that. You can put me in the insane asylum and say I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, watch and see. Watch and see. So tomorrow night, we're gonna get over this credit literacy. We're gonna start breaking these ties from these epigenetics that are passing down to us. Somebody went through something several generations ago, and then they created a behavior in our family, and this is how we raise our children because we're so scared and da 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 da. We getting rid of all of that. We are getting rid of that. So we'll see you all tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time. Special guest. We're going to talk about credit literacy and continue our conversation on money psychology. All right. So with that, family, don't go anywhere. I got 2 commercials I want y'all to see. If y'all missed them at the beginning, you can see them at the end. And if you saw them at the beginning, check them out again. All right. See you all tomorrow, inshallah. And remember, it's not personal, it's vibrational.
The Elijah Muhammad House presents Black Waltz in White, an electrifying and elegant movement introduced to the Nation of Islam in the 1930s by Master W. Fard Muhammad. Join us for the second event in our Arts, Culture, and Civilization series. Learn more about the level of culture and refinement taught and demonstrated by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We'll be there Thursday, June 26th at 6 p.m. in Elijah's Garden of Peace at 4847 South Woodlawn Avenue. All ages are welcome to attend this special event of dance, education, and our sacred space. Visit ElijahMuhammadHouse.com to secure your seat.